We may have dumb or loony prime ministers or presidents, but this is in a different category altogether. It is shocking blasphemy that the Creator God is said to have to do what a man who is mere dust, and sinful dust at that, tells him to do. My website stats show quite clearly that the Vatican is a state. Yes, they do visit my website. I need to make it clear, I have nothing against Roman Catholics. I went to school, a Roman Catholic school. I was a Roman Catholic, and I still have many Roman Catholic friends. But I have a great deal against the system. You know, I've had letters from priests congratulating me on the courage I'm showing of saying the things I say. We have had homosexual Roman Catholic priests, several, writing and asking us for help, which of course we gave. They're all on my website for the entire world to see. So the Vatican knows about me, and I know about them. Before we are told anything else about the city, we are told that it is fallen. Interestingly, the word is used twice. It says, is fallen, is fallen. And that is because it will be quite a fall. And that's a bit of encouragement for those of us suffering under the present satanic system. It's also interesting to note, I said, is fallen. It doesn't say will fall. It is present tense. Of course, ancient Babylon did fall, but Revelation is talking about the end-time Babylon. And it is already fallen, and it will completely be obliterated by the time Jesus Christ returns. We are told that it is a great city. There are many great cities in the world, but only one is referred to as Babylon. We are also told that Babylon sits on 7 mountains. Revelation 17:9, and here is the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Rome sits on 7 hills. For those who say that a hill is not a mountain, a hill is really not a mountain, but most of the things referred to as mountains, like the Mount of Olives, would only classify today as hills. We are told that she made all nations commit fornication with her. That's interesting, isn't it? So, Rome makes the nations commit fornication with her. That's what it said. She made. So Rome actively pursues her victims. How could she do this? 2 Corinthians 11:14 and 15 says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Note, their works are not like the righteousness which they portray. So their works do not actually genuinely portray their righteousness. For example, pedophilia. It's common. It's always in the news. So, you know, they look the part, but they're basically wolves in sheep's clothing. We all know that fornication is carried out by seduction. And this is precisely the case. So the kings and the nations are subtly seduced, and they don't even know it's happening. And you find that method of seduction in Revelation 2:20, and it says, you know, Jezebel seduced my servants to commit fornication. So it's a seduction. The seduction and the seducer is so staggering and so profound that it actually astonished John, who had the vision. Revelation 17:6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So John was staggered. You see, so she looks one thing, but she's quite the other. Today when people say they're going to have a good time, it often means going to the pub, the bar, and getting drunk. Well, it's the very same with Babylon. It says, I saw the woman drunken. So she gets a kick, a pleasure, out of all her murderous activities. The end result of this fornication, as with any sin, is wrath. That's what it says there. Now, fornication as a sin has an element of pleasure attached to it. Short-lived and with disastrous consequences, it is true. But what happens when you commit fornication? You become one flesh. That's what 1 Corinthians 6:16 says. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two saith he shall be one flesh. So this is what has happened to the nations of the world and to the churches of the world and the leaders of the world who have committed fornication with Babylon. They have become one. They have been united. Therefore, they become as wicked as their evil partner. Their pleasure is only superficial and fleeting. Other verses emphasize the fact that the nations enjoyed their relationship. Her activities were making many businesses very wealthy. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Just one scripture I just made a note of, which I didn't include, which is very important, Revelation 18:3, which talks about the riches. But in there it says that she also traded in the souls of men. See, it says, Revelation 18 and 13 rather, she traded in the slaves and the souls of men. Slaves and the souls of men. Well, in an upcoming video on false Jews, we mentioned the slave trade. But according to the scripture, it's not only false Jews, Babylon is behind it. It talks about slaves. And today we have slavery. Right now we have slavery. It's being put in the papers that we have children sewing garments in India and in China for pence. So slaves are there. And the souls of men, souls simply means the bodies. It's not some ethereal element. A soul is the composite man. But they're trading in that. It makes a distinction between slaves and souls of men. Brings us to the question of some of these operations that have been carried out. We're now hearing that they're killing people and taking their organs for transplanting. Or some people are selling their organs for transplanting. What's that all about? Well, it tells us there that Babylon trades enslaving people and souls of men. We're hearing all the time about young women here being picked up 14 years old or imported for prostitution. That's slavery. That's bondage.